The vast expanse of the Eurasian steppe has long been a crucible of nomadic cultures, trade routes, and geopolitical dynamics that shaped the course of world history. Stretching from Eastern Europe to Mongolia and China, this region played a pivotal role in connecting civilizations and facilitating exchanges of goods, ideas, and peoples across continents. The Eurasian steppe, characterized by its vast grasslands and sparse vegetation, served as a corridor linking Europe, Central Asia, and East Asia. It provided a vital pathway for the movement of nomadic tribes and facilitated the spread of cultural practices, technologies, and languages over millennia. This unique environment fostered a distinct way of life centered around nomadic herding, where mobility and adaptability were essential for survival. Amidst the vastness of the steppe, the Xiongnu Empire emerged as a dominant force during the 3rd century BCE, exerting influence over vast territories spanning from the Mongolian plateau to the northern regions of China. The rise of the Xiongnu marked a significant turning point in early Eurasian history, as they established the first large-scale political confederation of steppe nomads. The Xiongnu Empire not only consolidated diverse nomadic tribes under a centralized authority but also played a crucial role in shaping the geopolitical landscape of Eurasia. Their interactions with sedentary civilizations, particularly with the Han Dynasty of China, initiated a complex interplay of diplomacy, trade, and conflict that left a lasting imprint on the region's history. By examining the origins, political structures, cultural practices, and diplomatic relations of the Xiongnu Empire, we gain valuable insights into how nomadic societies influenced and interacted with the more settled civilizations of ancient Eurasia. This essay seeks to explore the multifaceted legacy of the Xiongnu Empire, highlighting its significance as a pivotal actor in the early history of the Eurasian steppe and beyond. Scholars have debated the origins of the Xiongnu, with multiple theories attempting to trace their lineage and migration patterns. One prominent theory suggests that the Xiongnu emerged from the Mongolian-Manchurian grassland region, possibly as an amalgamation of various Turkic and Mongolic-speaking tribes. Another theory posits that they might have originated from the northern Chinese region before migrating northwards into the steppe. Archaeological evidence, including burial sites and artifacts, provides insights into their material culture and societal structures, but definitive conclusions about their origins remain elusive. The Xiongnu's nomadic lifestyle and decentralized governance initially posed challenges for early historians in accurately tracing their historical trajectory. The Xiongnu Confederation reached its zenith under Modu Chanyu, r. 209–174 BCE, a charismatic leader who unified disparate tribes into a formidable military force. Modu Chanyu's leadership marked a pivotal moment in Xiongnu history, as he instituted administrative reforms, centralized authority, and implemented military strategies that expanded their territorial influence. Under Modu Chanyu's rule, the Xiongnu adopted a hierarchical political structure centered around the Chanyu, Khan, who wielded significant authority over subordinate tribes through alliances and military prowess. This consolidation of power enabled the Xiongnu to exert control over lucrative trade routes and exact tribute from neighboring sedentary societies. The Xiongnu's expansionist ambitions brought them into direct contact with the Chinese dynasties, particularly the Qin and Han. During the Qin dynasty, 221–206 BCE, the Xiongnu frequently raided northern Chinese territories, prompting defensive measures such as the construction of the Great Wall. These skirmishes laid the groundwork for future diplomatic negotiations and tributary relationships. Under Emperor Gaozu of the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, attempts at appeasement and alliances through marriage alliances and tributary systems marked a significant phase in Sino-Xiongnu relations. However, periodic conflicts persisted, culminating in major military engagements such as the Han-Xiongnu War, 133–89 BCE, which shaped the geopolitical landscape of East Asia for centuries. At the apex of the Xiongnu political structure was the Chanyu, or Khan, who served as the supreme leader and held absolute authority over the confederation. The Chanyu's legitimacy and power were derived from both military prowess and the ability to forge alliances with subordinate tribal leaders. Succession to the Chanyu position often involved a combination of hereditary principles and political maneuvering among influential clans within the confederation. Under the Chanyu, a hierarchical system of aristocratic ranks existed, with trusted tribal leaders, often from prominent lineages, serving as advisors and regional administrators. This hierarchical structure allowed for centralized decision-making while maintaining the autonomy and loyalty of constituent tribes. The governance of the Xiongnu Empire was decentralized to accommodate the nomadic lifestyle and diverse tribal affiliations. The empire was divided into administrative units led by tribal leaders, Xiongnu, who administered local affairs and collected tribute on behalf of the Chanyu. These administrative divisions were flexible, allowing for swift mobilization of military forces and adaptation to changing geopolitical dynamics. Tribal leaders under the Chanyu exercised varying degrees of autonomy but were bound by allegiance and obligations to the confederation. The administrative structure facilitated resource management, trade relations, and diplomatic negotiations with neighboring sedentary civilizations. The military prowess of the Xiongnu Empire was integral to its expansionist policies in defense against external threats. The Xiongnu maintained a highly mobile and cavalry-centric military force, adept at swift maneuvers across the steppe terrain. Military units were organized along tribal lines, with each tribe contributing warriors to the overall Confederate army. Strategic military campaigns often involved raiding sedentary settlements for resources, capturing livestock, and exerting territorial control over strategic locations. The Xiongnu employed tactics such as ambushes, feigned retreats, and encirclement to outmaneuver more heavily fortified opponents, demonstrating their agility and adaptability in combat. The military success of the Xiongnu Empire relied on coordination among tribal leaders, effective command structures, and the ability to exploit the mobility of their cavalry forces. Their military prowess not only secured their dominance over the steppe but also influenced diplomatic negotiations and tribute agreements with neighboring civilizations. Central to the identity of the Xiongnu was their nomadic lifestyle, characterized by mobility across the Eurasian steppe in search of grazing lands for their herds of horses, sheep, and cattle. The pastoral economy formed the backbone of Xiongnu society, providing sustenance through animal husbandry and facilitating trade through the exchange of livestock and animal products. Tribal encampments, known as yurts or felt tents, served as portable dwellings that accommodated the semi-nomadic lifestyle of the Xiongnu. These structures were easily dismantled and transported, reflecting the practicality and adaptability necessary for survival in the steppe environment. The religious practices of the Xiongnu centered around animism and shamanism, where spiritual beliefs were intertwined with the natural world and celestial bodies. Shamans played a pivotal role in mediating between the human and spirit realms, performing rituals to appease ancestral spirits, nature deities, and celestial entities. Burial practices among the Xiongnu included elaborate ceremonies and the placement of grave goods, reflecting beliefs in an afterlife and the continuity of ancestral connections. Archaeological excavations have uncovered burial mounds, kurgans, containing artifacts such as weapons, jewelry, and everyday items, providing insights into Xiongnu funerary customs and social hierarchy. The artistic expressions of the Xiongnu encompassed a variety of forms, including ornate metalwork, ceramics, textiles, and jewelry crafted from materials obtained through trade or local resources. Metal objects, such as bronze belt plaques and horse trappings adorned with intricate designs, exemplified the Xiongnu's skill in metallurgy and artistic craftsmanship. Cultural artifacts unearthed from archaeological sites offer glimpses into the aesthetic preferences and cultural symbols that defined Xiongnu identity. These artifacts not only served functional purposes but also conveyed social status, cultural affiliations, and the rich tapestry of artistic traditions among nomadic societies on the Eurasian steppe. The relationship between the Xiongnu Empire and Han China, particularly during the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, was marked by a complex interplay of diplomacy, trade, and occasional conflict. Initially, the Xiongnu posed a significant military threat to Han territories in northern China, prompting defensive measures such as the construction of the Great Wall under Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Subsequent Han emperors pursued diplomatic strategies to mitigate hostilities, including marriage alliances, Hekin, and tributary exchanges aimed at securing peace and stability along the northern frontier. These diplomatic efforts often involved intricate negotiations and reciprocal exchanges of gifts and tribute between the Han court and the Xiongnu Chanyu. Beyond Han China, the Xiongnu maintained diplomatic relations with other sedentary civilizations and nomadic tribes across Central Asia and Eastern Europe. These interactions facilitated trade routes, cultural exchanges, and the diffusion of technologies and ideas across Eurasia. Trade played a crucial role in the economic prosperity of the Xiongnu Empire, connecting pastoralist societies with sedentary civilizations along established trade routes. The Xiongnu controlled key segments of the Silk Road, facilitating the exchange of goods such as silk, spices, precious metals, and agricultural products between East Asia, Central Asia, and the Mediterranean. Economic exchanges with Han China included the trade of silk and luxury goods for horses, furs, and other steppe commodities coveted by the Han court. These economic ties not only bolstered the wealth and influence of the Xiongnu elite but also contributed to the cultural diffusion and technological advancements across Eurasia. Alliances among nomadic tribes and sedentary civilizations were instrumental in shaping the geopolitical landscape of ancient Eurasia. The Xiongnu formed strategic alliances with neighboring tribes to consolidate their territorial control and deter external threats. These alliances often involved marriages between ruling elites, fostering political stability and mutual defense agreements. Despite diplomatic efforts to maintain peaceful relations, periodic conflicts erupted between the Xiongnu Empire and neighboring states over territorial disputes, tribute obligations, or conflicting strategic interests. Military engagements such as the Han-Xiongnu Wars exemplified the fluctuating nature of Sino-Xiongnu relations and the strategic calculus governing nomadic state interactions on the steppe frontier. The Xiongnu Empire pursued aggressive expansionist policies aimed at consolidating their control over vast territories across the Eurasian steppe. Under leaders such as Modu Chanyu and subsequent Chanyas, the Xiongnu launched campaigns to subjugate neighboring tribes, secure strategic trade routes, and extract tribute from sedentary civilizations. Their conquests extended from the Mongolian plateau to northern China and Central Asia, establishing a network of alliances and tributary relationships that bolstered their military and economic dominance. The nomadic cavalry of the Xiongnu, renowned for their mobility and tactical prowess, facilitated rapid conquests and effective control over expansive territories. The military engagements of the Xiongnu Empire were characterized by strategic mobility, surprise attacks, and adaptive tactics tailored to the steppe terrain. Notable conflicts included the Han-Xiongnu Wars, 133 to 89 BCE, which saw alternating periods of conflict and diplomacy between the Xiongnu and Han China. Xiongnu military tactics emphasized the use of cavalry archers for hit-and-run attacks, encirclement strategies, and feigned retreats to lure enemy forces into ambushes. These tactics exploited the agility and speed of their cavalry units, enabling the Xiongnu to outmaneuver larger, more heavily armed sedentary armies. The military successes of the Xiongnu Empire had profound implications for regional dynamics across Eurasia. Their control over key trade routes facilitated economic prosperity and cultural exchange between East Asia, Central Asia, and Europe, while their military prowess deterred rival tribes and sedentary civilizations from encroaching on their territory. The Han-Xiongnu Wars, in particular, reshaped the geopolitical balance in East Asia and prompted significant defensive measures by the Han Dynasty, including the construction of the Great Wall. The Xiongnu's ability to extract tribute and negotiate advantageous treaties with Han China underscored their diplomatic acumen and strategic leverage on the steppe frontier. Resource management was crucial to the economic prosperity of the Xiongnu Empire, as they navigated the challenges of nomadic life on the steppe. The empire's geographical position facilitated control over key trade routes, including segments of the Silk Road, which connected East Asia, Central Asia, and Europe. This strategic advantage enabled the Xiongnu to engage in lucrative trade exchanges, transporting goods such as silk, spices, jade, and livestock across vast distances. Trade with sedentary civilizations, particularly Han China, enriched the Xiongnu economy through the exchange of luxury goods, metals, and agricultural products in return for horses, furs, and other steppe commodities. The empire's control over trade routes not only bolstered their economic resources but also enhanced their cultural prestige and diplomatic influence in the region. The economic resilience of the Xiongnu Empire was rooted in their adaptive strategies to harness natural resources and sustain their pastoral economy. Nomadic herding of horses, sheep, and cattle provided essential food sources, textiles, and materials for trade and craftsmanship. The mobility of Xiongnu tribes allowed them to exploit seasonal grazing patterns and respond flexibly to environmental changes, ensuring sustainable resource management across diverse ecological zones. The empire's economic resilience was also evident in their ability to navigate political instability, demographic shifts, and external pressures while maintaining a cohesive confederation of tribes. This resilience contributed to their longevity as a dominant force on the Eurasian steppe for centuries. Agriculture and pastoralism played complementary roles in the economy of the Xiongnu Empire. While pastoralism formed the economic backbone, providing mobility and self-sufficiency through animal husbandry, agriculture in oasis settlements and river valleys supplemented food production and diversified economic activities. The cultivation of crops such as millet, wheat, and barley in oasis settlements supported sedentary populations and facilitated trade relations with agricultural societies along the empire's periphery. This hybrid economic strategy balanced nomadic mobility with agricultural productivity, ensuring food security and economic diversity within the empire. The decline of the Xiongnu Empire was influenced by several factors that gradually eroded its political unity and territorial control. Internal conflicts, external pressures, and shifting geopolitical dynamics contributed to its eventual fragmentation and decline. Internal conflicts within the Xiongnu Confederation intensified as competing factions vied for power and resources. Succession disputes among Chanyists and rivalries among influential tribal leaders weakened centralized authority, leading to factionalism and instability within the empire. Externally, the Xiongnu faced increasing pressure from neighboring sedentary civilizations and nomadic tribes seeking to assert their own dominance over the Eurasian steppe. Continuous military engagements, such as the prolonged conflicts with the Han Dynasty of China, strained resources and undermined the empire's military capabilities. The fragmentation of the Xiongnu Empire accelerated as subordinate tribes sought greater autonomy or aligned themselves with rival powers. By the 1st century CE, internal divisions and external pressures had effectively fragmented the once unified confederation, leading to the dissolution of centralized Xiongnu authority. Despite its decline, the legacy of the Xiongnu Empire endured across subsequent steppe empires and civilizations. The Xiongnu's military strategies, diplomatic practices, and cultural influences left a lasting imprint on Eurasian history. Nomadic successors, such as the Gokturks and the Xianbei, adopted and adapted Xiongnu political structures and tactics, contributing to the continuity of steppe nomadic traditions. Moreover, the Xiongnu's interactions with sedentary civilizations facilitated cultural exchange, technological diffusion, and economic integration across Eurasia. The Silk Road, which traversed Xiongnu-controlled territories, continued to serve as a vital conduit for trade and cultural interaction long after the decline of the empire. Archaeological research has played a crucial role in uncovering the history and culture of the Xiongnu Empire, providing insights into major sites, artifacts, and daily life. Noin Ula. Located in Mongolia, Noin Ula is renowned for its burial mounds, kurgans, dating to the Xiongnu period. Excavations have revealed richly furnished tombs containing artifacts such as bronze ornaments, pottery, and textiles, offering clues about Xiongnu burial customs and social hierarchy. Ivolga.
Situated in Russia, Ivolga has yielded artifacts such as metalwork, weapons, and horse trappings associated with Xiongnu material culture.
Excavations at Ivolga have contributed to understanding trade networks and military technology of the Xiongnu Empire. Xiongnu capital. The exact location of the Xiongnu capital remains debated, but archaeological investigations continue to uncover evidence of monumental architecture, administrative structures, and ritual sites indicative of a centralized political center. Recent excavations have expanded our understanding of Xiongnu society and its interactions with neighboring civilizations. Discoveries such as sophisticated metallurgy techniques, evidence of long-distance trade networks, and artifacts linked to daily life provide nuanced insights into Xiongnu economic activities and cultural exchanges. Advanced scientific analyses, including DNA studies and isotopic analysis of human remains, have shed light on Xiongnu migration patterns, social dynamics, and dietary habits. These interdisciplinary approaches contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of Xiongnu identity and its evolution over time. Artifacts unearthed from Xiongnu archaeological sites offer a glimpse into daily life, social practices, and material culture. Ceramic vessels, bone tools, jewelry, and personal items recovered from burial contexts provide tangible evidence of Xiongnu craftsmanship, aesthetic preferences, and domestic activities. The study of Xiongnu artifacts enables scholars to reconstruct aspects of nomadic life, including food preparation, textile production, ceremonial practices, and the symbolic meanings embedded in material objects. These discoveries illuminate the resilience and adaptability of Xiongnu society within the dynamic environmental and socio-political landscapes of the Eurasian steppe. The Xiongnu Empire holds significant importance in world history as one of the first and largest nomadic confederations to exert influence over both sedentary civilizations and neighboring nomadic tribes. Their military strategies, diplomatic practices, and economic networks contributed to the integration of Eurasian societies and the facilitation of trade along the Silk Road. The enduring influence of the Xiongnu Empire can be seen in the cultural exchanges, technological innovations, and diplomatic strategies that shaped Eurasian interactions for centuries. Their legacy resonates through the adaptation of political structures by successor nomadic empires and the diffusion of cultural practices across Eurasia. In conclusion, the Xiongnu Empire stands as a testament to the resilience and adaptability of nomadic societies in the face of changing political landscapes. By exploring their history, we gain valuable insights into the interconnectedness of civilizations and the enduring impact of nomadic cultures on world history.